tell you why I hate poverty. I don't hate poverty just because I want to feel rich. I hate poverty because of its effect in kingdom advance. If poverty were neutral to the gospel, I wouldn't have a problem with it. There are three things you do when you are poor. You will tell lies, you will steal, and you will compromise. I forbid you from being poor.
In 2023, I saw Shege. I fought Shege and I made my first million. You've just butterfly ride with K Johnson and I, Chibinhe Johnson. I'm going to be your captain for today's ride, and I've got one question for you. Are you ready to ride with me? If you're ready, then call my love. So on today's ride, I'm going to be sharing how I made my first video. So I think I've been sitting on this video for a long time, and it's been almost a year that I made that money. So yeah, so just in case you think the money is still available, some have been chopped, some have been invested, some have been given, some have been... When I share this kind of stories, it's not because, of course, someone like me, if I don't say anything, I'm not gonna say nada. You understand? I know how to keep secrets. So I'm sharing this video because I want someone out there to be inspired and to believe and think that they can do it, that it can also be them. Like I've already shared before now, I grew up in Omahia, Abia State, and Omahia is a very peaceful town, and I love it, I still love it. But one thing I would always say is that if you grew up in Omahia, sometimes the environment has a way of stifling your mind and thinking that life is just all about this. You have to intentionally break out of that box of that life is this. Have respect, I will say life is this, I like this.
Life is this. I like this.
I grew up in that kind of environment whereby 5K is big money, 10K is big money, 100K, wow. So 100K is for like people that have worked like in civil service for decades. It's not like for youngies like me. Nah, nothing like that. In 2021, I went to Lagos for my law school. After law school, I came back to Omahia. Then also, when it was time for NYSC in 2022, I decided to move back to Lagos for my NYSC because, the kind of eye-opening I saw in Lagos was a lot. I saw young persons doing a lot. That thing that makes you think that every young person that is making money is doing something illegal. Please, that thing is from your father's village that doesn't want you to prosper. Because there are persons that are doing things that are legal, and they're making good money. There was, first of all, that move from my environment. I just needed to change that mindset. At some point, it was not easy. I had a rough patch in Lagos. Like, there were things that didn't go as planned, and I was really struggling at some point. I got to a point where I was like, God, why is my life like this? Why am I seeing my mates prosper and I'm not prospering? And sometimes they usually say that thing of there are no mates in this thing. I feel like that is a bit exaggerated. Now, I mean, I don't know if I'll say mid or late 20s, right? If I'm still doing something that 16-year-olds do, it's a problem. Why? Because I am no longer there. Sometimes when you are working, measure yourself with what your standard mates are doing, not like mediocre mates. Sometimes that's even what gives you push to want to do more, to want to become more, because, oh, this person that I was playing with sand is no longer playing with sand. Rather, he has a sand transportation company. So why am I still playing with sand? If you don't see somebody doing that, you might not want to also do that. So I know some of you will be like, oh, please cut the chase and tell us how you made the million. I'm getting right into it now. Maybe I should lay a foundation before I actually share the story. And I'll just quickly share like 5 tips on things that I did. So the first one is that, just like I said, I got uncomfortable. I was seeing a lot of young persons doing things that are legal and making good money. By the time I got uncomfortable, what it led me to do is to seek knowledge. I started seeking knowledge. I started watching videos how to make money. And I think there's a principle in life that principle of what you focus on, you ultimately become. Because I was seeking knowledge, from that time, YouTube suggestions, how to make money. So, but the point is that in the grand scheme of things, one particular factor that I realized was value. People always say give value, that's how you make money. Value. I was like, okay, in giving value, what value can I give to be making money? And I started trying to figure out how to give value. So that period, our camp meeting came up. I was attending NYSC in Lagos. So we had like a camp meeting, which is like a program we have every Easter. So I went for the program. At some point, Pastor David Obuelu, who is like the founder of NYSC, he mentioned something about finances. I was like, yes, this is what I need right now. This is what I need. And he mentioned one book, I think it's by Kenneth Hagin, Obedience and Finances. I was broke, but I said I was going to buy that book. That is investing in knowledge. One thing that really stood out for me is that he kept on talking about how different points God had told him to do something in a certain way, either to give somebody or go somewhere, and he did it, and at the end of the day he ended up making money, or he ended up getting blessed from it. I now understood that there's actually a difference between making money or just getting money and actually being blessed. because when you are blessed, it comes with more than money. After reading the book, even though I didn't exactly get what I'll call a typical financial lesson or financial lessons, I was able to get something. There's that place of obedience if you want to get blessed, and that was enough for me. I had to fly with that. So since then, I now became very conscious. There was a point God instructed me, after paying your tithe, let there be a portion of your income that goes to somebody that needs it. Like, so every month I'll be like, okay, God, I don't know who needs this money, so you just have to show me. And he would show me, okay, maybe the person might either call me, or I'll just be led to call the person, ask the person to send their details, and I would sow into the person's life. And all the persons that I had to do that for, the way they thanked me, you know that they really, really needed the money. One day I was led to read the book of Esther in the Bible. I mean, of course, I know the story of Esther. I grew up in church, Sunday school, everything. I know Esther, Mordecai, her husband, her house rules, everything. But one thing that really stood out for me in the 9 chapters of Esther is the fact that how come her husband did not know where she was from? Like, when you are in a relationship with somebody or married, one of the first things you know about the person is where they are coming from. And also, I was wondering, didn't Esther have a particular look? It's just like in Nigeria, if you see Yoruba, Igbo, Hausa, Ibibio, there are certain characteristics, like there are certain features you'd see. I'd be like, oh, I think this person is from here, or I think this person is from here. I was like, didn't Esther have any of those features that make her husband know that she's a Jew? I was also wondering, how come Esther never even mentioned this? Because the Bible particularly mentioned it that Mordecai told Esther, don't tell anybody you're a Jew. So I was like, wow, even her husband. Like, it was an interesting twist for me in the book of Esther. The Holy Spirit ministered greatly to me about that and told me that sometimes it's not every information that you give out. It does not mean that you are lying or you are keeping secrets. Sometimes just keep things to yourself. Some information that I think are just basic. Example, place of origin. It was so basic, especially for somebody that is married to someone. But if Haman and King Ahasuerus knew exactly where she was from, especially Haman, I think he would have plotted that in such a way that the thing will carry both Esther and other Jews. But the fact that she kept that in a secret was so important. So this was just laying down so much on my heart. I was like, okay, noted, acknowledged. This story now is what is leading me to the third point, which is obey principles. I apply the principle of obedience by doing what God instructed me to do, by giving to people. Even the principle of agreeing that, oh, I'm not going to be sharing details that I shouldn't share, no matter how common they seem. I was now more conscious in the spirit to know, oh, what should I say, what should I not say here. Another principle I know I applied was the principle of honor, because before then I always had this attitude of, when I see someone selling a course, I was like, what are they even selling? I beg, something that's on YouTube. So I remember that period, someone was selling a course, and the course was for, I think, 15k. It was just a class, not even like a course. So it was just like a 2-day class, and paid for that course because I saw where she posted, oh, how she made 1 million naira from a particular transaction as a creative. When I signed up for the class, of course, a lot of things she said I already knew, but the fact that I honored her and paid her money and attended her class, I feel like something rubbed off on me, because as she was just teaching, she was like, oh, this brand called me, I told them 1 million, they paid, blah 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 blah, everything. I was like, 1 million naira. I said, 1 million naira. I said, God, I've never made 1 million in my life before. This baby is probably my age mate too. In July, this same applying of principles, obedience. In my office, my colleague was to get married. She was not even like in our branch, she was in our Port Harcourt branch, but she was wedding in Lagos. Her husband stays in Lagos. So we, the people in Lagos branch, were asked to go and represent the firm. And a lot of people were like, I'm not going. So point, HR was insistent. I was like, everybody make sure you go. So I now reached out to a senior colleague in the office that said he was going to go. We were living in the same area. He said, okay, well, he's going to book a ride that he will go. I was like, oh, please, I'll join. He said, no problem. So we reminded each other up until Friday. The wedding was on a Saturday. On Saturday morning, he now called me. I got a call from him. He said, oh, sorry, I didn't pass the night in my place. I slept in Oniru. So if I can come out to Oniru and join him in his taxi, the wedding was in Ikeja, Lagos, that would be fine. I said, oh, sure, no problem. It started raining. And I also had to make my hair that morning, so they kind of delayed me. So by the time he was now calling me, I was still doing my makeup. So I knew that there was no way, if in a place like Lagos, I was going to meet up with, going from where I was staying to Oniru. I told him, okay, that he can just go ahead. He can go without me. That alone should have deterred me from going for that, because first of all, it was raining. Secondly, the taxi that I was hoping on, because me, I don't like all those of ahead, enter bus, jump bus. It's not like I also used to jump bus in Lagos, but if I can avoid it, I avoid it. So after doing my makeup, it was still drizzling. I went. By the time I got to Lekki, I met someone in a bus, so I was trying to ask him, okay, where can I get Ikeja bus? So the guy was trying to direct me. We both dropped down at Lekki Phase 1 bus stop. So as I was walking along the road, so there was traffic because it rained. So there was traffic, and I saw someone was talking to me. I was like, ah, fine girl, how are you? So me, I can be very playful. I was like, ah, fine boy, how are you? I'm fine. Or like, looking so beautiful. Like, thank you. He said, I think I don't even. He said, can I have your number? I told him no. My mom said I should not talk to strangers. Like I was just joking. Like the traffic was really slow, so I was kind of close to the car. So he was just talking to me. I was talking to him. So it's not like, where are you going to? I told him I'm going to Ikeja. I was like, are you serious? That's also where I'm going to. I told him, ah, please, my mom said I should not talk to anybody. So the guy said, no, come let me drop you. I said no. And I checked, there were 3 men in the car. There were 3 men in the car. I said, oh, I better go. I'm not about to enter one chance. So the guy that was working with me, that was trying to show me what Ikeja was, told me. And I thought him, I told him, that guy said he's going to Ikeja. Do you think I should follow him? He told me, no, for this Lagos, I better go. We want to enter one chance. So by then, like the traffic had moved a bit. So I was now walking, and I got to a point, and I saw the car. I was like, whoa, are you being serious? I didn't know that he had cleared, like he had parked somewhere to wait for me. So the time I got there, I said, I'm serious, I'm going to Ikeja. So I now looked at 3 of them. So they obviously look at people that are going for Owambe. It was very risky, but I now had to search my heart, like discernment. I was like, okay, Holy Spirit, should I join this? Should I join this people? So I felt peace in my heart. I was like, okay, I can go. So I now asked the guy. The guy now looked at them and told me that he doesn't think that these people are harmful people, that I should just join them. So that was how I joined them. First of all, it was such a relief for me that I didn't have to enter bus to Ikeja, because they didn't just drop me at the junction, they dropped me at the reception venue. In the course of the journey, as we were talking, he was like, okay, what do you do? I was like, I'm a lawyer. He was like, oh, are you serious? Are you like all these freelance lawyers? I said, no, I work in a law firm. He said, that means you've practiced up to 5 years now. I don't even know what led to that, because it's not like you have to practice up to 5 years to work in a law firm. But immediately he said that, I remember that in the Holy Spirit told me. What I just said in my mind was Esther. That thing was on Saturday. On a Monday, he called me, hey babe, what's up? He's like, I'm fine. I was like, okay, are you free? Can you help me? I need to sell a property, blah 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 blah. I was like, what am I doing in my life? So when he now told me the value of the property, I was like, okay, sorry, my legal fees it's actually supposed to be this amount, but because of you, I'm just going to take 5 million. Me, I was even saying the 5 million. I was laughing at myself because you are who? That's your 5 million. There was some back and forth. He didn't end up paying me up to 2 million, but it was above 1 million. And the amazing thing is that this work came with so much ease, it was so easy. Like, even though there were some delays on the part of the people that were buying, it was so easy. I realized that he was somebody that liked you to be spontaneous. Like, okay, once he tells you do this, you do it. So I was just very prompt. That was now my place of giving value, which now goes back to that thing I found out when I was seeking knowledge. I was not giving value, and the value I was giving was not just legal value. The fact that I was a lawyer and I knew what to do, the documents to draft and how to draft them. The value I was also giving was being prompt in my response. That was how I ended up closing the deal and I was paid. That was how I made my first million. So by way of recap, I'm just going to mention the 5 things I did differently that led to that. First one is that I got uncomfortable. The second one is that I sought knowledge. The third one is that I applied principles, which are mostly biblical actually. The fourth one is that I gave value, and the last but not the least, I decided to be a blessing from that money that came. So that was how I made my first million. I hope you enjoyed this story. If you enjoyed it, tell me what you enjoyed most about this story. Drop it in the comment section. Do also like, subscribe, and share. So I am your Captain Kechibi Johnson. Thank you for riding with me, and until next time, don't forget to let your light so shine.